Today, we're going to talk about the Spitfire Albion blues. And we're not talking 12-bar blues. No, rather, we're talking about frustration and disappointment. So I come across some of the demos from Spitfire Audio with the Albion series. And on the demos on YouTube, there's just some fantastic things. Great cinematic options for composing, for making music. So I dipped my toe in the pool with the Albion 1 series. That seems to be the most popular, seems to be the one that's most recommended for getting started with working with that part of the Spitfire suite. And I was looking forward to having some of that great cinematic, orchestral spice in my musical cupboard. So very much looking forward to it. The download for Albion 1 is pretty large. It requires 111 gigabytes of space during the install while you're putting this on computer. So you have to have room enough for that. And that download will take some time. So after Albion 1 was downloaded on my MacBook Pro, I was interested to dive into it and start using it. So I opened up the program, and with just about every other software music program that I have, my experience is that when I open up its instance in Contact and I select a patch, the patch either comes up instantaneously, or if I have to wait, it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, fairly fast. It doesn't slow down the music making process. But when I hit the first patch in Albion, oh my gosh, it was like going back to the days of dial-up internet. The waiting, it was the hardest part. I selected the patch and it wasn't there. I mean, the computer was doing something, it was clocking, and it wasn't 5 seconds, it wasn't 10 seconds, it was, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. It was a long time, so much so that I couldn't imagine trying to make music waiting for a single patch to load, because sometimes you're just trying to run through sounds to see which sound do you even want to use. And with a long load time, that just isn't practical. So I thought, hey, maybe there's too many things open on my computer. Maybe I just need to reboot. So I shut everything down, restarted the computer, got back into Contact, opened up Albion 1, and it was the same experience. Just patches were taking ridiculously long to load. And my initial impression was, wow, maybe this is just the way this thing works. Maybe because the package is so big, the people who are demoing this on YouTube must have some super massive, go fast, massive memory computers beyond what I have. But then I'm thinking, wait a minute. My MacBook Pro is only a couple of years old. I've not had this kind of issue with anything else that I've run. And when I got my MacBook Pro, I pretty much got the most memory that was available, the fastest processing available. The only thing I didn't get was, instead of the biggest hard drive that was available at the time was an 8 terabyte SSD. I got the 4 terabyte SSD. Everything else was spec'd out as much as possible. So I thought, this is strange, but unfortunate, and it feels unusable. Was there a solution? So, like any time there's a problem these days, off to Google I went, and off to YouTube I went, trying to find out, am I the only one with this problem, or do other people have this problem? And lo and behold, I did find a solution through some of the forums. I actually did not see this solution talked about in any of the YouTubes, at least that I pulled up, on any of the Albion products from Spitfire. So hopefully you'll see what I did to cure the Spitfire Albion blues for myself. So I have Logic opened up. I'm going to create a new software instrument in a new instance. So I'm going to go to Contact. We'll open up an instance of it. And then we're going to look for Albion 1. No, I'm going to look for Albion Solstice. Okay, that was interesting because I opened it up and I didn't see Solstice. So when I opened up Logic and opened up Contact, I was hoping to find Albion Solstice, which I just got, and I'm not seeing it in there. And I remembered, so I went to the manual that came with Solstice, and it's reminding me that I need to go into Contact and register my software. So I do have my serial number, so I'm gonna go and do that. All right, so we're gonna go to native access. In native access, there's add a serial number. So I have mine copied, so we'll add that in there. Click add serial number. And it says it could take up to 10 minutes, but it completed in about 10 seconds. So wonderful, wonderful. All right. So it says it's registered. Let's go back and see if I can actually bring it up in Logic. Let me reopen up Contact and see if it shows up. And voila, it's there. Beautiful. So now let's see what happens when I actually try to bring up an instrument. I'm just gonna, this is the first time I'm opening up Solstice. We'll go to Solstice Orchestra and bring up Elders and see how long it takes to load. So main techniques, let's try that. And I am clocking just like what happened when I had Albion 1. And I'm trying to keep count here. I'll let you know about how long it's gonna take to load a single patch. It took 1 minute and 30 seconds just for the loading sub window to show up. All right, I'm gonna call it quits here. This patch has been in the loading time for over 2 minutes already. It looks at the rate it's going. It might take it 4 minutes, 5 minutes to load. That's completely unusable. So I'm gonna hit cancel and show you what I did when I got Albion 1, because I clearly need to do the same thing with Solstice. And if I don't do this, this whole program is completely unusable. So in Contact, you've got this disk icon here, and there's an option here called Batch Resave, and that's what's going to cure your Spitfire Albion Blues. So we're going to hit Batch Resave. I believe, blah, 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 blah. We're going to proceed anyways. Pretty sure that's what I did before. I'm going to go to where I have my Solstice library. So open up that folder. I'm going to click Open. And this is starting process of resaving patches. Now, I seem to recall when I did this in Albion 1, it took several hours. So at this point, you're gonna go make yourself a cup of tea. You're probably gonna have time to watch your football game or soccer game, whatever your sport of choice is. You might have time to make dinner. I think last time that I did this with Albion 1, I started it in the evening and I just let it run overnight. So it is now 1:20 in the afternoon. I'm gonna let this run. We're gonna come back probably in an hour or two and see how this is going. Once this process finishes, we're gonna get out of Logic. I'll restart everything. We'll open up Solstice again and see if what probably was a 4 to 5 minute wait time for a single sound, a single patch, if it's gotten any better, and we'll let you know. I'll be back. All right, and I am back, and after 7 hours, the process finished for this batch resave to work its way through all the way in Contact. It's done, so now I'm gonna relaunch Logic. I'll open up an instance of Contact, and we'll throw in Albion Solstice and see if we have a difference in file loading time. Okay, I've got Albion Solstice here, and I'm just gonna grab random files. So this is the Elders main techniques. See how long it takes to load, and it's immediate. So boom, this works. It makes an enormous difference all the way from not usable in my perspective to extremely usable. So if you remember earlier in the video, it was actually yesterday, when I tried to open up a patch, the load time was like north of 4 minutes or so, and I actually ended up aborting it because it was ridiculous to wait so long for a single sound to load. And now after going through that 7-hour batch resave, you may want to let that run overnight when you do it for yourself. At least now when I open up the Albion programs, in this case Albion Solstice, I'm ready to go so I can call up any of the patches. They'll load up immediately. So that's my cure for the Spitfire Albion Blues. Blues no more. We'll be moving on to create music. Hopefully this tip has been helpful for you if you're thinking about or if you've recently purchased any of the Albion products from Spitfire. Given this experience, this may also impact other products from Spitfire as well and their performance and contact. I do know it's not the case on all of them. As an example, the first product I got from Spitfire was the Polaris, and that integrates a little bit differently. That one worked great day one, straight out of the box, but these Albion products definitely, you need to do this tweak in order to be making music without frustration. So again, I hope this video was helpful for you if you're thinking about getting an Albion product, a Spitfire product, because this issue may come into play. There is a solution, so that's the good news. Thanks for watching and happy music making. Bye.